Have you ever heard about the ghost monkey? A creature locals claim vanishes into thin air. Or the deadly frog, so poisonous that ancient tribes used it as a living weapon in jungle wars. And then there's the lost city of Z, a place explorers vanished trying to find. But nothing compares to the horror of the boiling river. Hidden deep in the Amazon, this river doesn't need fire to kill. It boils from beneath the earth. Legends say ancient warriors would throw their enemies into it, and the water would cook them alive. Yes, you hear that right. People say the jungle hides many secrets, but today we'll show you something never seen before. Real creatures, caught on camera for the first time. Strange, terrifying, and possibly never meant to be found. What's hiding in the shadows of this endless green world? Let's begin. Ghost monkeys of Myanmar. Deep in the forests of Myanmar, near an ancient volcano called Mount Popa, lives a mysterious creature called the ghost monkey. This rare animal, known by scientists as the Popa langur, wasn't even known to science until 2020. Even though people had walked through its home for years, no one noticed it. What makes it so special is its ghost-like appearance. Gray fur, big white circles around its eyes, and a long tail. Scientists discovered it while studying old monkey bones stored in museums and comparing them with photos taken in the wild. And this monkey got its nickname because it's almost never seen. In fact, there are only around 200 to 250 of them left in the wild, and they're very shy. For years, they hid so well that no one even knew they existed. Researchers from international science groups used DNA tests and camera traps to finally spot them. But now, even though we know they exist, these monkeys are in danger of disappearing forever. So next time you think we've discovered every animal out there, remember the ghost monkey hiding quietly for over 100 years. Deadly frog used in tribal wars. Long ago, in the jungles of Colombia, tribes were not just fighting with swords or spears. They had a secret weapon. They used a tiny frog called the golden poison dart frog. It looks small and shiny like a gold coin, but its skin carries a poison so deadly it can kill a person 10 times over. Warriors would rub their darts on this frog's skin, and just one shot could bring down an enemy. Even today, the native Embera people still use this trick for hunting. This isn't just a frog. It was a tool of war. Now here's where it gets even more shocking. Scientists have started studying this dangerous frog, not to fight, but to heal. They've created a fake version of its poison, and guess what? It works like a super strong painkiller. This deadly creature might one day help doctors treat serious pain. A frog that once helped in battles might now help in hospitals. Nature is full of surprises. Sometimes the most dangerous things can also save lives. Giant killer centipede. Deep in the dark jungles of South America, there's a terrifying creature crawling beneath the leaves. It's called the Amazonian giant centipede. This huge bug, also known as the Scolopendra gigantea, is the biggest centipede in the entire world. It can grow over 12 inches long and slithers through rotten wood and forest floors, quietly hunting its next victim. You'd expect a record-breaking certificate from the Guinness Book, right? But this monster is too busy eating spiders, scorpions, and even other bugs to care about fame. Now here's the scary part. This giant centipede doesn't just stop at insects. It also goes after frogs, birds, mice, and even bats. That's how big and powerful it really is. But if you're thinking it won't bother humans, think again. Its bite is venomous, and yes, it can be dangerous to people too. In fact, one person has actually died from its bite. So next time you walk through the jungle, remember, some of the creepiest killers have 100 legs. The mystery of Colonel Fawcett. It all began with a man who couldn't let go of a mystery. Colonel Percy Harrison Fawcett, a British explorer in the early 1900s, was convinced that deep inside the Amazon jungle of Brazil, there was a forgotten city built by ancient people. He spent years studying old maps and writings, and after exploring the wildlands near the Amazon River himself, he truly believed that a lost civilization had once thrived there. He even thought their ruins were still hidden somewhere in the jungle, waiting to be found. Then came the journey that became legend. In 1925, Fawcett and 2 others walked into the jungle, searching for the truth behind his theory. But they vanished without a trace and were never seen again. No one knows what really happened to them. Their story became so famous that in 2016, Hollywood turned it into a movie called The Lost City of Z, with Charlie Hunnam playing Fawcett and Robert Pattinson as his companion. The Deadly Boiling River. People say the Amazon hides many secrets, but this one is truly terrifying. Long ago, when tribes went to war, they didn't just take prisoners, they threw them into a river that boiled them alive. Yes, it's real. Deep in the Amazon lies a river so hot it can cook anything that falls into it. It's called the Boiling River, and its water is no ordinary stream. This bizarre place isn't just scary, it's one of a kind in the whole world. Locals call it Shnei Timpishka, or sometimes La Bamba. It's just a small side river of the massive Amazon, but its heat makes it legendary. This deadly river runs about 4 miles long, with temperatures reaching between 113 and 212 degrees Fahrenheit. That's hot enough to burn skin or even kill. That heat doesn't come from the sun, it rises from deep inside the earth itself. And despite the name meaning boiled by the sun, the truth is way more terrifying. Giant blood-sucking leech. Let's talk about a creature straight out of a nightmare. Deep in the Amazon, there lives a giant leech that can grow up to 17.72 inches long and almost 4 inches wide. This isn't just any small leech you see in ponds. This one looks like a fat, black slug and clings to skin like it owns you. Found from the Amazon River all the way to Venezuela and French Guiana, these creepy creatures love hiding in underwater rocks and swampy wetlands, quietly sucking blood while staying out of sight. Now here's the weirdest part. People once thought this leech was extinct for almost 80 years, but scientists found 2 of them in French Guiana and brought them back for study. One of them, named Grandma Moses, shocked everyone by giving birth to 750 babies. She helped scientists for years at UC Berkeley, and when she died, they honored her by placing her in the National Worm Collection. Yes, that's a real place, and it's the highest tribute a blood-sucking worm can get. Killer instinct of the red-belly piranha. These little monsters might look small, but their name strikes fear across the Amazon. The red-bellied piranha is one of the most feared predators in the jungle. While people imagine them as bloodthirsty killers, the truth is a bit different. They usually snack on small fish, insects, crustaceans, and even plants like seeds and algae. Sounds harmless, right? But don't let that fool you. When they get hungry and there's no food around, they call in the whole crew. And that's when things turn deadly. When a group of red-bellied piranhas go into attack mode, nothing is safe. If it moves, it's a target. They've been known to tear the flesh off animals and even humans in just minutes. Their razor-sharp teeth are built for chaos. Attacks on people are rare, but in the dry season, when rivers shrink and food runs out, they might see your foot as dinner. So next time you're near Amazon waters, remember, dipping your toe could be the last thing you feel. Killer shock of the river. Deep in the dark waters of the Amazon, something creepy is hiding, and it's not your ordinary fish. This creature can make its own electricity. Yes, we're talking about the electric eel. With a long snake-like body, it glides through muddy rivers using a built-in radar made of electric pulses to find its way. These strange eels can grow up to 6 feet long, and they don't just look scary. They are scary. When they strike, they release a powerful electric shock to hunt or protect themselves. Now here's where it gets dangerous. One zap from an electric eel can knock out a full-sized animal, and while it might not kill a human right away, it can paralyze you just long enough to drown in deep water. Multiple shocks can even stop your heart. These shockers rule the waters of the Amazon and Orinoco rivers in South America, and honestly, they seem like something out of a villain's lair in a spy movie. Giant air-breathing fish of the Amazon. This fish is not just big, it's massive, ancient-looking, and lives deep in the wild Amazon. Meet the arapaima, one of the largest freshwater fish in the world. It usually grows up to 9 feet long, but some even reach 10 feet and weigh over 440 pounds. With its long body, giant tail, and a face that looks like a grumpy old fish, the arapaima rules the rivers of South America. But here's what's wild. When the river floods into the jungle during rainy season, this fish doesn't panic like others. While most fish struggle in low oxygen water, the arapaima simply rises to the surface and breathes air like a pro. Yes, this giant fish can actually breathe outside water for up to 24 hours, thanks to a special swim bladder that works like a lung. But being huge means it's always hungry, and the way it eats is downright terrifying. The Arapami opens its massive mouth and creates a vacuum, sucking in anything nearby, fish, birds, you name it. Then it uses its sharp teeth to tear it all apart. Sadly, these river beasts are becoming rare today because of overfishing and the destruction of their habitat, but in the hidden corners of the Amazon, a few of these giants still lurk, waiting in silence. Deadly giant of the Amazon. This massive beast hides in the shadows of the Amazon. It's called the black caiman, and it's the biggest of all alligators, growing up to 19.5 feet long. That makes it the largest animal in the Amazon basin. At first glance, it looks like an American alligator, but its darker skin helps it stay hidden while it hunts at night. These creatures only come out when the sun goes down, and that makes them even scarier. You'll find them in many countries like Brazil, Peru, Colombia, and Ecuador, usually relaxing in rivers, lakes, and wetlands. When the rainy season floods the Amazon from May to July, the black caiman spreads far and wide. But once the water disappears between September and December, they crowd together in rivers and lakes. That's when hunting becomes intense. Their eyes see clearly in the dark, but strangely, their teeth aren't great for killing. Instead of biting their prey to death, they either drown it or gulp it down whole. It's a silent killer, lurking in the water, waiting for the perfect moment to strike. Deadly spider in the jungle. This spider has a scary name and it lives up to it. The Brazilian wandering spider is known as the most poisonous spider in the world, according to the Guinness World Records. What makes it even scarier is how it hunts. Unlike most spiders, it doesn't build a web. Instead, it walks around the forest floor at night, searching for its prey. It attacks quickly, either by surprise or straight on. While it usually eats insects and other spiders, it can even catch mice, lizards, and frogs, and if a human accidentally steps too close, it doesn't hesitate to bite. If this spider bites, things get bad fast. First, there's burning pain where it bit you, then sweating and goosebumps. After that, your body can go into total confusion. Your blood pressure might rise or fall, your heart may race or slow down, and you'll likely feel sick, dizzy, and cold. Some people even lose vision or have convulsions. The scary part is no one knows how much venom it injects until it's already happening. But there's one hope. If you get bitten and get help quickly, doctors can usually treat it with antivenom. Still, that's a risk most people don't want to take while walking through the Brazilian jungle. The last rainforest tribe. Deep in the heart of the Brazilian Amazon, there's a tribe living a life most of the world has forgotten. The Awa people, just around 450 in number, are one of the last true hunter-gatherer groups left on Earth. They live close to nature, gathering fruits and nuts, hunting small animals, and depending fully on the forest around them. Their knowledge of the jungle is unmatched, and their bond with the land is more than survival. It's their identity. But their peaceful life is under threat. Massive deforestation, illegal loggers, and people taking over their land have made their future uncertain. Even though the government and some groups have tried to help, many Awa still live in fear, trying to protect what little they have left. They don't harm anyone, but sadly, the world outside has done plenty of harm to them. Toothpick fish horror from the Amazon. It starts off small, really small. But this tiny fish from the Amazon called the kangaroo or toothpick fish has one of the most disturbing reputations in the world. It's not just because it's a parasite, but because people say it can swim up a stream of urine and get inside a person's body, right through the private parts. Even though there aren't many real-life cases, its terrifying legend shows up in almost every Amazon horror story or documentary. In truth, this little creature usually lives by attaching itself to the gills of other fish, locking itself in with sharp spines, and feeding off their blood. Now here's where it gets seriously painful. If a kangaroo ever ends up inside a human, pulling it out is a nightmare. Those sharp barbs don't let go easily. They tear through tissue on the way out. That's why even though it's tiny, like a toothpick, it causes huge damage. And yes, once it's inside, it doesn't stop. It starts sucking blood from its unlucky host. So if you're planning to swim in the Amazon, maybe think twice. This creepy little fish doesn't care how big you are. It's already got a place to hide. killer vampire fish. Take one look at this fish and you'll feel a chill down your spine. It's called the vampire fish, and its name fits perfectly. With long, sharp fangs that grow up to 5 or 6 inches, this freshwater beast looks like something out of a horror movie. Locals call it para, wolffish, dog-tooth tetra, and even Dracula fish. Its jagged teeth are not just for show, they are weapons. One powerful bite and the vampire fish can rip its prey apart. It uses those deadly fangs to stab, hold, and tear through anything that crosses its path. Now here's where it gets even scarier. This fish doesn't just look dangerous, it lives to hunt. The vampire fish is wild, always searching for its next victim and acts like it's never full. It has no known enemies in the water, so it rules its world without fear. It drinks the blood of other fish and sometimes even eats its own kind. Even piranhas, which are known to be fierce, get scared and run when they spot a vampire fish nearby. That's how terrifying this underwater predator really is. Jaguar's deadly hunting skill. This cat is not your average predator. The jaguar, strong and heavy, can grow up to 6 feet long and looks just as fierce as a lion or tiger. It walks through the thick forests of Central America, hunting prey that can be just as dangerous as itself. Jaguars are brave enough to fight giant caimans, yes, those massive reptiles, and they often win. That alone tells you how fearless and powerful this animal is. But that's not all. Jaguars have huge heads and some of the strongest jaws in the wild. Their sharp teeth can crush bones with one bite. They're super fast, great at climbing, and love swimming too. When hunting, they move in total silence and wait for the perfect moment to strike. And here's the scariest part. They can bite straight into the skull of their prey, crushing the brain instantly. One bite, and it's over. Deadly rattlesnake of South America. This might be the scariest creature hiding in the forests of South America. Meet the South American rattlesnake, a quiet hunter that doesn't need company and doesn't give second chances. It mostly comes out during dusk and early morning, sliding through forests and dry lands, silently watching for its next meal. If you're a small animal like a rodent or even a pet guinea pig, you're exactly what it's looking for. And no, you don't want to know what happens next. While it usually avoids humans, one wrong step near this snake can still be a nightmare. Now here's the terrifying part. The venom of this rattlesnake isn't just dangerous, it's pure horror in liquid form. It slowly shuts down your body, starting with paralysis, then affecting your vision, hearing, breathing, and even your muscles. And if that wasn't enough, the most common cause of death? Kidney failure. Without fast medical help, this snake has a chilling 72% kill rate. So next time you're walking through a South American trail, keep your eyes sharp, because this snake doesn't forgive mistakes. Giant green iguana of the jungle. Here's something wild hiding in the trees. Deep inside the rainforests of Peru lives the green tree iguana, one of the biggest lizards in the world. These creatures can grow as long as 6 feet, though most of that length comes from their long tails. But don't let their size fool you. They're not dangerous. Iguanas are calm, lazy animals that spend most of their day chilling on tree branches or relaxing near the river, soaking up the sun. But wait, it gets even more surprising. If they feel scared, they don't fight. They jump straight into the water. And guess what? They're great swimmers and can stay underwater for minutes. They usually move slow, but when they need to, they can move super fast. When they're young, they munch on insects, but as they grow older, they switch to eating fruits and leaves. Baby iguanas are bright green, but as they age, their color slowly fades to grayish green. Gentle sea cow of the Amazon. This soft, round, and peaceful creature floats through the rivers and lakes of the Amazon like a dream. It's called the Amazonian manatee, and it's not your regular sea cow. Unlike its cousins in Florida or West Africa, this one never touches the sea. It lives only in fresh water, deep inside South America. It can grow as long as 9 feet and weigh around 800 pounds, making it the smallest manatee in the world. Its body is smooth and gray, and it eats in a funny way by grabbing plants with its upper lip, almost like a living vacuum cleaner. Now here's the wild part. These animals live on a full-time salad diet. They eat only plants and spend their days floating slowly, chewing up to 8% of their body weight in leaves and water plants every single day. But when the Amazon's seasons change, so does their lifestyle. In the rainy season, they explore the flooded forest for food, but when the water disappears in the dry season, they retreat to deeper lakes. And if food becomes too hard to find, they stop eating for weeks, surviving only on the fat they saved earlier. That's how the Amazonian manatee adapts and survives in one of the wildest places on Earth. The ant that feels like a bullet? This tiny insect might look normal, but its sting is no joke. It's called the bullet ant, and people say getting stung by it feels just like being shot with a real bullet. These ants live in tropical rainforests and usually keep to themselves. They don't attack for fun, but if you bother them, they'll fight back, and it hurts more than anything you can imagine. Now here's the scary part. If one bullet ant stings you, it sends a special smell to call its friends. Within seconds, a whole army of them can come running and sting you over and over again. The pain? People say it's like electric shocks that keep coming in waves for 24 hours straight. So next time you're in the rainforest, watch your step. One wrong move could lead to a day full of pure pain. Giant green anaconda. This snake is not just big, it's massive. The green anaconda is the heaviest snake on the planet. While it may not be as long as a reticulated python, its body is much thicker. Some grow over 29 feet long, nearly as thick as a dinner plate, and can weigh up to 550 pounds. That's heavier than most tigers. Belonging to the boa family, these giants don't use venom. Instead, they wrap around their prey and squeeze until it can't breathe, then swallow it whole. Now here's where it gets even wilder. These snakes aren't picky eaters. They go after deer, wild pigs, even caimans, and sometimes jaguars. And guess what? It's the female anacondas that grow the biggest. Their skin is olive green with black and yellow spots, making them nearly invisible in the thick jungle. Hidden in the leaves, they wait quietly and then strike with shocking speed, turning the rainforest into their hunting ground. What you just saw is only a glimpse into the jungle's dark heart. Who knows what else is still hiding out there? Don't forget to like, subscribe, and join us next time, if you dare,